The night is quiet, but it carries a weight heavier than silence. A storm builds above the towers of Nevermore, the kind of storm that does not just bring rain, but secrets long buried. A raven takes flight, its wings cutting through the sky as if warning of something unseen, something inevitable. And beneath that storm, in the shadows of the academy, a name whispers through the halls like a ghost refusing to stay hidden: Ophelia. The camera drifts over Nevermore Academy, its windows glowing faintly under the storm clouds, each light flickering like a fragile candle struggling against the dark. Students move through the halls, their footsteps echoing, their laughter fading too quickly, replaced by uneasy silence. The walls seem to lean closer, heavy with secrets, as if they too are listening for the name that keeps returning like an echo from the past. Wednesday walks slowly across the courtyard, her black coat trailing behind her, her gaze sharp and unflinching. She feels the storm before anyone else does. For her, silence is not peace, it is the sound of something waiting. A library door creaks open, and dust swirls through the air, disturbed by a presence that does not belong. Ancient books rest on wooden shelves, their spines cracked with age, their secrets waiting to be claimed. One book in particular lies out of place, a black cover marked with a single name scratched into its surface. Fingers, pale and steady, reach for it, tracing the name as if it carries a memory older than time. Ophelia. The pages flip themselves open as though eager to speak, but the words refuse to form, blurring into shadows. A face is never shown, only a glimpse of motion, a whisper of breath, a suggestion that something or someone has returned. The storm outside breaks into thunder, lightning striking so close that the academy windows shudder. Students gasp, but Wednesday does not flinch. She stands by her window, watching the night as if it has written a message meant only for her. Her eyes narrow, unshaken by fear, sharpened instead by curiosity. She knows what others refuse to admit: storms do not arrive without a reason. Somewhere in that thunder is a warning, somewhere in that lightning is a signal, and somewhere in the dark, a shadow watches her in silence. The camera cuts to the hallways at night, empty but alive with sound. A door slams without a hand to close it. Candles flicker, though there is no wind. A reflection moves across the glass, but when turned to face it, nothing stands there. The tension grows heavier, pressing down on the walls, seeping into every corner of Nevermore. Then, a whisper, faint at first, then sharper, filling the screen like a secret that cannot be ignored. Ophelia. The name is spoken as if by many voices at once, weaving into the thunder, sliding into the silence. For a moment, everything freezes, and in that pause, it becomes clear. Wednesday is no longer the only one carrying the darkness of Nevermore. The night deepens, but with it comes a pull, as though the air itself has thickened into something almost alive. Nevermore does not sleep easily. Doors creak open without hands to push them. Staircases echo as though carrying invisible footsteps. And the portraits on the walls seem to glance sideways when no one is looking. Beneath the surface, there is movement, subtle, creeping, like roots twisting in soil. The kind of movement that does not ask for permission but waits for the moment to rise. Students whisper about strange sightings, a figure in the garden where no figure should be, the sound of a lullaby drifting down the corridors when no one is singing. A story begins to spread, but none dare speak it aloud for long. Names hold power, and this one has already begun to disturb the air. Ophelia. Wednesday does not chase gossip, but she does not ignore it either. She has seen the signs, pages missing from old journals, the sudden sharp chill that clings to certain corners of the academy, and the way ravens gather in silence near the east wing as if standing guard. She knows patterns better than anyone, and this is not chaos, this is design. She returns to the library, the air thick with dust and age, and finds the black book again. This time, left open though she remembers closing it. The ink has shifted, words crawling across the page like living shadows, forming sentences that read as warnings but also invitations. Blood remembers. Shadows return. She waits. Wednesday does not blink. The book is not asking to be read. It is demanding to be understood, far away, in a part of the academy no one visits after dusk. A door groans open into an abandoned dormitory. The floorboards are rotted, the wallpaper peeling like skin, but the silence there is heavier than the decay. On the bed lies a broken mirror, shards scattered like frozen screams, reflecting fragments of something that should not exist. One shard shows a pale hand moving, though no one is near. Another shows a dark cloak shifting, though the room is still. And in the largest shard of all, for only a second, a pair of eyes glow faintly cold, haunting, and aware. They vanish before they can be seen fully, but the damage is done. Whoever looks into the shard carries that image in their mind forever. Storms continue to roll across Nevermore. But it is not the thunder that unsettles the students. It is the silence between each strike, as if something is listening, waiting for them to speak so it can answer. Enid finds herself restless, pacing in her room, hearing faint tapping at the window, only to see nothing but ravens staring in unison. Xavier sketches without realizing, his hand moving faster than thought, drawing symbols he swears he has never seen before yet feels older than the school itself. Bianca dreams of drowning, her reflection shifting in water to show a face that is not her own. Everyone feels it, but no one speaks it aloud. The whispers grow stronger. The name is not just spoken now, it is etched into stone, appearing across the courtyard wall, in letters black as ash. Students gather in shock, but by morning, it is gone. The wall bare again, as if the night itself erased it. Fear spreads, but Wednesday does not bow to fear. She writes the name herself, presses it onto paper, studies its shape, as if willing it to confess its meaning. Ophelia, it is not just a name, it is a presence. It belongs to someone who has waited in silence for far too long. And now that silence has begun to break. The final image of the section lingers on a candlelit hallway, its flames trembling though no draft moves. The camera follows the flicker down the passage until it stops at the base of an old door. A single word appears, carved by an unseen hand as the sound of metal scrapes against wood. Slow, deliberate, final. The name burns across the screen once again, Ophelia. And this time, the whisper that follows does not come from many voices, but from one, a voice, colder, sharper, and far too close. The night has become a living thing, coiling around Nevermore like a serpent. What once felt like shadows now feels like eyes, watching, studying, waiting. Wednesday walks through the courtyard, her footsteps steady, but her mind sharpening into a blade. She knows this pattern. The darkness does not spread without intent, and intent means there is a hand guiding it. She tightens her grip on the black notebook she now carries everywhere, her expression unreadable, but her silence heavier than thunder. Students avoid her path, whispering behind her back, yet secretly clinging to her presence as though she is the only shield they have left. Strange events intensify. A piano plays in the music hall though the keys press themselves. Dorm windows rattle as if knocked upon by invisible hands. Doors swing open, but not into rooms, into corridors that should not exist. Students claim they see Wednesday standing in places she has never been, her reflection stepping out of mirrors with no body attached. Fear is spreading like fire, and even the teachers fail to mask their unease. Whispers fill the night again, but this time, the name is not faint. It roars through the walls, weaving into dreams, dragging students awake in a cold sweat. Ophelia, the name is no longer asking to be remembered, it is demanding to be acknowledged. Wednesday confronts the library once more. The place where the black book refuses to stay shut. She lays it open on the desk, the candles around her quivering as if exhaling fear. The words have changed again, forming lines like claws scratching across the page. She is the other half. She is the shadow of the shadow. She is what you refuse to see. Wednesday reads them aloud, her voice calm, yet the silence that follows strikes like lightning. The flames extinguish themselves. For a moment, the world folds into darkness. And in that darkness, she hears breathing, not her own. Slow, patient, and so close she could almost feel it on her skin. The following days twist into something unnatural. Enid finds herself sleepwalking, her hands streaked with ink though she never touched a pen. Xavier's sketches turn violent, pages filled with faceless figures whose eyes glow. Bianca claims she saw a girl standing in the lake, her reflection not matching her own movements. Each story threads into the next, all pointing back to the same conclusion. Ophelia is no longer a whisper, she is among them. And then, the first confrontation. The scene begins in the greenhouse, overrun with vines that have grown too quickly, choking the glass walls. Wednesday moves between them, her steps deliberate, her eyes narrowed. She hears at first the faint hum of a lullaby, low and cold, a melody that does not soothe but unsettles. The vines shift, curling as if alive, guiding her deeper until she finds herself in a circle of shadow. The music stops, and in that silence, a figure emerges from the dark. Only fragments are seen, a pale hand brushing against leaves, the hem of a cloak dragging across the floor. The faint glow of eyes hidden beneath shadow. No face, no full reveal, only enough to burn the impression into the mind. Wednesday does not retreat. Her voice cuts the silence. If you are meant to frighten me, you'll have to do better. For a heartbeat, nothing answers. Then the voice comes, smooth and sharp, echoing as if spoken from every corner of the greenhouse at once. I am not here to frighten you. I am here to finish what you began. The vines snap shut behind Wednesday, locking her inside, the storm raging against the glass walls. For the first time, she tilts her head, curiosity breaking through her usual mask of indifference. This is no ghost, no rumor. This is flesh, blood, and power. And as the figure fades back into shadow, leaving only the whisper of her name clinging to the air, Wednesday realizes the truth. Ophelia has chosen her. The camera lingers on Wednesday's face, the faintest flicker of a smile at the corner of her lips, not of joy, but of challenge. A storm may have arrived, but storms, after all, are just puzzles waiting to be solved. The storm does not pass. It lingers, boiling above Nevermore as if the sky itself refuses to release its fury. The academy becomes a vessel of unease, windows trembling, doors bending, floors groaning under the pressure of something that should not be contained. Students move like shadows themselves, whispering in corners, avoiding the hallways after dark. The name has grown heavier, no longer just a word, but a force that clings to the air. Ophelia, every time it is spoken. The walls seem to lean closer, listening, feeding on the sound. Wednesday knows the pattern now. This is not chaos. This is not random. It is a design, a performance carefully staged, with her as the unwilling audience, or perhaps the chosen participant. She follows the trail of signs, claw-like markings carved into the stone staircases, mirrors covered in cracks that spread like veins, symbols drawn in ash across classroom floors. Each one pulls her deeper into the labyrinth Ophelia has created. Every answer opens another door. Every door leads further into the dark. The academy shifts around her. Hallways stretch longer than they should. Doors open into rooms that vanish when entered. The familiar becomes strange, and the strange becomes unbearable. She keeps moving, her black notebook clenched tightly, her steps Where others see fear, she sees patterns. Where others see ghosts, she sees motives. And yet, even she feels it, the weight of being followed, not by footsteps, but by intention. The kind of presence that cannot be shaken, because it has chosen not to be. A moment shatters the silence. Enid screams from the east wing. Wednesday runs, her boots striking the floor like a drum beat. The hallway lights burst one by one as she passes, plunging the space into strobing flashes of darkened light. Enid stands trembling, her hands covered in black ash, the walls around her smeared with the same word again and again. Ophelia. Her voice breaks as she whispers, "She was here." But before Wednesday can respond, a gust of air slams the windows open, the candles extinguish, and the voice fills the hall. Cold, close. "I am still here."